All right, so here's what we got. The day is a bit of complexity. It's fun on all spectrums. For the fully loaded version, we've got a 3-point power snatch complex. That's one high hang power snatch, one mid-thigh power snatch, and one power snatch. Mid-thigh can be mid-thigh or top of the knee. That's your choice. I like top of the knee personally. I feel stunted when I go to mid-thigh, but that's up to you how you want to do that. Then you're going to work up to a heavy single in that little complex, and then you have an optional finisher of 30 power snatches at 95 pounds. So you've got, or 65, but you've got basically a pulled back version of Isabel. So a slightly lighter Isabel, which doesn't make it easier. It just changes the stimulus from a little bit slower to a little bit quicker. If you have, you have your Isabel time, you know your Isabel time, which is 30 power snatches for time, then I would suggest, and you know it's a pretty fast one, then what I would like you to do is I'd like you to make this as unbroken as possible. So it'd be like as big an unbroken set. Hey, who knows, maybe you can go all 30. See like Dan Bailey up in this. So see what you can do, see how many you can push for unbroken on that finisher. For the other stuff, it's pretty self-scaling in the sense that you can just only go as heavy as you're able to go. With that too though, if you can't go overhead, you got injury stuff going on, you could always turn this into a clean and do the same sort of thing. High hang, mid-thigh, / top of the knee, and then from the ground. In all of these, just make sure your positioning is staying the same relatively. So when you're finishing, it should feel the same. So a high hang finish should feel relatively the same as a top of the knee finish should feel relatively the same as from the ground. Now, depending on your ability to repeat stuff or your proficiency with these movements, it might feel slightly different. You might feel like you don't have quite the drive from the hips and legs in that high hang. Who knows? Maybe getting around the knees is the hard thing for you, so off the ground is the hardest part. But the idea is to make the finish feel similar, if not the same, for each one of these. As it gets heavier, you'll probably be having the ability to do a little bit more load as you move forward. Not more load, but it should feel a little bit easier when you're doing the high hang, the mid-thigh and the from the ground, because you have more momentum built up. A high hang or a super high hang version of this is kind of difficult to really feel powerful in, unless it's just your jam. You got really short arms like myself. Anyway, lots of fun stuff to work on. Enjoy that. For the partially loaded version, we've got a 3-point power snatch complex with dumbbells, and we're going to do same sort of deal, but now the dumbbells are on the side, or not on the side there. It's held in the middle, but it's 4 reps at each one of these places. So you're going to do high hang power snatch 1, 2, 3, 4, mid thigh power snatch 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from the ground power snatch 1, 2, 3, 4, and you do 1 round each arm. So you're going heavier and heavier in it. Now, if you don't have the heaviest dumbbell in the world, because that's a lot of us at home, we only have 1 dumbbell, and it's either lighter or maybe it's too heavy, then this is more about focusing on technique than anything else. It's not, if you've got a huge array of dumbbells and you're working towards a heavy single, yay, life is good. But if not, it's more about positioning than anything else. You could argue that for the fully loaded as well, but it's more about how tight can you keep it to your body, how long can you keep your elbow straight, how consistently can you get it to land in the same spot overhead with the elbow locked out and the knees bent. You know, can we work the same position and really grease the groove for a good single arm heavy snatch or a good just snatch mechanics from the hips and legs. So if you don't have something super heavy, don't worry about it. This is a technique day. We're working on that technique, getting a couple reps in at each one of these places. And you'll get nice and tired. 4 reps at each one of these ends up being 4, 8, 12 reps per arm per set. You're doing about 3 to 5 sets. So yeah, you end up getting something from it physiologically, but it's also very, very psychological in the sense that we're trying to rewire some neural pathways, make ourselves more coordinated individuals. Enjoy that day. It's going to be fun. Then afterwards, you have the optional finisher of 40 alternating dumbbell power snatch. Alternating is just like from the ground, you either switch on the ground or as you're going down, you switch hands. So you do 1 in one arm, 1 in the other. It's a pretty common standard that we'll see in the open or we'll see in game stuff where you have to switch after each rep. Really slows you down and requires a bit of coordination and makes it so you want to bend out of position, but don't. That's my suggestion to you. Make it pretty. Think about tall chest as you're pulling it off the ground. Make these lifts look good and get that work done. Next, we have the unloaded version, which is actually going to be a repeat from April. We've got some overhead strict handstand push-ups. So 1 strict handstand push-up, 2 kipping, and then a max handstand hold. And then you're going to rest. You're going to do that for 7 rounds. So we did this relatively recently, but essentially what we're looking for is a really hard handstand for you, 2 slightly easier handstands for you, and then 1 long hold. So strict handstand push-up could be a seated press if you have a light thing to press. This is the unloaded version. So it could be a pike handstand push-up, and then so a harder version could be knees on a couch. So knees on a couch, handstand push-up, or knees on a box, handstand push-up, moving into 2 pike push-ups, moving into an upside down hold for as long as you feel comfortable. And again, we're just trying to grease the groove here more than anything else. You need to be resting as much as possible, or as much as you need to between rounds to feel fresh hitting the next set. So we're working that overhead position, 1 harder one, 2 easier ones, and then a big long hold. Cool? And then the optional finisher is 20 kick sits. Look at the video for that, super fun. And 20 jumping lunges. That's going to be super fun as like an all-out sprint. 20 jumping lunges. I say this, jumping lunges get you. Jumping lunges are one of those things where you can do a few in a row and then all of a sudden your quads start to burn and then they really go. This is a low enough volume, 20 in a row, or 20, big fly, just flew by me. 20, that's not gonna like completely throw you off your game to where you couldn't just go for it, balls out, let me see if I can get 20 of these. And that's what I think you should do. See if you can do 20 unbroken jumping lunges where you're switching each time and really going for it. Ooh, I'm a little sore from earlier. So see if you can get those nice and fast kick sits. You just get them done as quick as you can, but they're hard, might have to stop. But in those jumping lunges, see if you can push all the way through. Good luck. Enjoy this day. Let's get into their net dare warm-up. All right, so we're gonna start today's warm-up off kind of in this kneeling or quadruped position. But we've got essentially for this first little section, it's a quick warm-up. You're gonna do 5 to 10 reps of these. We're gonna do T-spine rotations with shoulder rolls. We're gonna do 6-point burpees. We're gonna do air squats to up and over the fences, and we're gonna do cat camels. So we're doing 5 to 10 reps of each one of these things. First thing is the T-spine rotation with some shoulder rolls. The T-spine rotation can be done either on your knees like this or out in a push-up. But essentially what we're looking to do is just open our body up, come back down. Open our body up, come back down. That's our T-spine rotation. You can hold at each one of those sides as long as you feel necessary. So, but not more than like a 2 count or a 3 count. Then in this, we're gonna be here and we're gonna do some scap rotations. So we're gonna push into the ground and then rotate through. So these are just like shoulder rotations in the ground. And they are my mortal weakness. They're one of the hardest things for me to coordinate in my body, but that probably means I should do them more. So T-spine rotations and shoulder rolls is what we're looking for there. Then we're gonna do 6-point burpees. 6-point burpee is just a more deliberate burpee. You've essentially got 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just making it so it's less sloppy than a normal burpee. You can always do that on your knees as well. So 6-point burpees. 5 to 10 reps of that. Then you're gonna do air squats to up and over the fences. Air squat to up and over the fence is an air squat. Then when you come out of it, you go, pretend there's a fence here, you climb up and over to the other side, then do an air squat on this side, and then up and over. That's air squat up and over the fences. Then we're gonna do cat camels. Cat camel, and these ones right here, where you go cat, camel, cat, camel. I don't know why that looks like a camel. I think it'd be cat cow, not cat camel. I don't know. That's cat camel. So arch and then arch the other way. Arch the other way. Obviously be cautious with this because you're surrendering lumbar and you kind of go into a hyperextended position, but as long as you do it slowly, you should be okay. 5 to 10 reps of that, and then we're gonna maybe work through that 1 or 2 more times, just get some blood flowing, but don't do it too many times in a row. Once again, T-spine rotations with the shoulder rolls, 6-point burpees, air squat to up and over the fences, and cat and camels. Then we're gonna do a little bit more shoulder prep. We're gonna do 30 seconds each stride, internal and external rotations with the shoulder. So that looks like this. So we're lying down here, internal and external rotations. So we're basically just looking to push down and then open up. And you're gonna notice that one of those two sides is usually a little bit better than the other. Now another thing you can do with that is you can also lie this way and use a little bit of an assist from the hand and then go there. So there's two ways you can do that. You can either do it two-handed like I was just showing. That gets me pretty good, but some people need to be lying here, change the position of the shoulder. Both are good. Maybe do a little bit of both, but 30 seconds of that on each side. Last thing we're looking to do there is a split stance T-spine rotation. It's kind of like a lunge to a twist. So you're gonna be doing a split stance here, and then you end up twisting and reaching the sky. So you can kind of twist and reach the sky. So T-spine rotation in a split stance. You kind of hover side to side between those two. Do about a minute of that, so 30 seconds, then a minute, 30 seconds of the internal, external rotations, and then a minute of that, what I just showed right there, and you do that maybe once or twice, and then jump right into reviewing the actual workout prep and workout stuff with your coach. Make sure you get some eyes on you, send a text, send a pic, figure it all out, and get after it. Enjoy the day.